Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the USS Horizon, looking out at the empty space ahead. His ship was the most advanced vessel Earth had ever built. It carried the best crew humanity could offer, and today they were about to make history. "Captain, I'm getting those strange readings again," said Dr. Lisa Carter from her science station. She was the ship's top physicist, and her instruments had been picking up weird energy signals for the past 3 days. Jake walked over to her station. "Show me what you've got, Lisa." Lisa pointed to her screen. The display showed waves of energy that seemed to come from nowhere. "It's like there's something invisible out there. Something big." Ryan Brooks, the chief engineer, looked up from his console. "Captain, I've been thinking about what Lisa found. What if it's not just energy? What if it's some kind of barrier?" "A barrier?" Jake asked. "What kind of barrier?" "I don't know," Ryan said. "But our new quantum drive might be strong. Enough to break through it, if we're right about what it is." Jake thought about this. Earth Command had sent them out here to explore beyond the solar system. They had no idea what they might find. "Lisa, can you tell me more about these readings?" Lisa worked on her computer for a few minutes. "Captain, I think Ryan is right. The energy pattern looks like it's forming a wall. A wall around our entire solar system." "That's impossible," said Amy Walsh, the communications officer. "Who would build something like that?" "I don't know," Lisa said. "But the math doesn't lie. There's something out there keeping us in." Jake felt a chill run down his spine. "You mean we're trapped, like in a prison?" "Maybe," Lisa said. "But I think we can break through it." Back on Earth, Admiral Paul Griffin was not happy when he heard about the crew's plan. His face filled the main screen as he spoke to Jake over the communication link. "Captain Morrison, this is too dangerous. We don't know what that barrier is or why it's there. You could destroy your ship and everyone on it." "Admiral," Jake said, "we didn't come out here to play it safe. We came to explore. This might be the biggest discovery in human history. Or it might be the last thing you ever do," Griffin replied. "I'm ordering you to return to Earth immediately." Jake looked at his crew. They all stared back at him, waiting for his decision. He had trained with these people for years. They trusted him, and he trusted them. "I'm sorry, Admiral," Jake said, "but I'm making an executive decision. We're going to try to break through." Griffin's face turned red. "Captain, if you do this, you're on your own. Earth Command will not be responsible for what happens to you." "Understood, Admiral," Jake said. He cut the communication link. The crew got to work immediately. Ryan began changing the ship's engines to produce more power. Lisa worked on calculations to find the exact spot where they should try to break through. Amy prepared the communication systems in case they found something on the other side. As they got closer to the barrier, strange things began to happen. Time seemed to slow down, then speed up. The gravity on the ship changed, making everyone feel heavy, then light. Through the windows, they could see flashes of light that showed glimpses of what lay beyond. "Captain," Lisa called out, "we're almost there. The barrier is getting stronger." "How strong?" Jake asked. "Strong enough to tear our ship apart if we're not careful," she said. Ryan worked frantically at his station. "I'm pushing the engines to maximum power. We only get one shot at this." The ship began to shake as they approached the barrier. The lights flickered, and sparks flew from some of the control panels. Everyone held on tight as the horizon fought against the invisible wall. "Captain," Amy said, "I'm picking up something. It's like voices, but not human voices." "What are they saying?" Jake asked. "I can't tell. It's not any language I know." The shaking got worse. Some of the crew members looked scared, but Jake stayed calm. "Ryan, give me everything you've got." "Yes, sir." Ryan pushed the engines harder, than they had ever been pushed before. The quantum drive began to glow with bright blue light. "Lisa, are we going to make it?" Jake asked. Lisa watched her instruments carefully. "I think so. The barrier is starting to crack." Suddenly, there was a flash of light so bright that everyone had to close their eyes. When they opened them again, the shaking had stopped. The ship was moving smoothly through space again. "Status report," Jake called out. "We're through, Captain," Lisa said with excitement in her voice. "We broke through the barrier." Amy looked at her instruments in wonder. "Captain, I'm picking up signals from all over this region of space. There are structures out there, lots of them." Jake looked out at the stars. They looked different now, brighter somehow. "Well, team, we did it. We're the first humans to leave the solar system prison. What do we do now?" Ryan asked. Jake smiled. "Now we find out who built that barrier and why they wanted to keep us locked up." The USS Horizon moved forward into the unknown, carrying humanity's hopes and dreams into a galaxy full of mysteries. They had no idea what they would find, but they were ready for whatever came next. Behind them, the barrier sealed itself shut, but the damage was done. For the first time in thousands of years, humans had escaped their cosmic prison. The galaxy would never be the same. The USS Horizon moved through space like it had never moved before. Everything around them was new and strange. Jake Morrison stood on the bridge, watching the stars that no human had ever seen. "Captain," Amy Walsh said from her station, "I'm getting more signals. They're coming from those structures Lisa detected." Jake walked over to look at Amy's screen. "Can you tell what they're saying?" "Not yet," Amy said. "But the patterns are definitely artificial. Someone or something is trying to communicate." Dr. Ben Parker, the ship's expert on alien life, joined them at the communication station. "Captain, I've been studying the signals. They're not random. There's intelligence behind them." Lisa Carter looked up from her science station. "Captain, I've got a better look at those structures. They're huge. Each one is bigger than our entire ship." "How many are there?" Jake asked. "Dozens," Lisa said. "Maybe hundreds. They're arranged in a pattern around this whole region of space." Ryan Brooks called out from the engineering station. "Captain, something's happening to our engines. They're being scanned by some kind of beam." Jake felt his heart beat faster. "Are we in danger?" "I don't think so," Ryan said. "It feels more like someone is trying to understand how we work." Suddenly, Amy's communication system came alive with a clear signal. A voice spoke in perfect English, but it sounded mechanical, like a computer. "Human vessel, you have violated the containment protocol. State your intentions." Everyone on the bridge went quiet. Jake stepped forward. "This is Captain Jake Morrison of the USS Horizon. We are explorers from Earth. We mean no harm." "You should not be here," the voice said. "Your species was contained." "For good reason. How did you escape?" "We broke through the barrier," Jake said. "We didn't know we were prisoners." There was a long pause. Then the voice spoke again. "You will come to Station Alpha 7 for evaluation. Do not attempt to leave this region." "And if we refuse?" Jake asked. "Then you will be destroyed," the voice said simply. Jake looked at his crew. They were all watching him, waiting for his decision. "We don't have much choice," he said quietly. "Amy, tell them we'll come to their station." "Understood, Captain," Amy said. She spoke into her microphone. "This is the USS Horizon. We will come to Station Alpha 7. Follow the guidance beams," the voice said. "Any deviation will result in immediate destruction." Blue lights appeared in space, forming a path toward one of the large structures. Jake ordered Ryan to follow the lights carefully. As they got closer to the station, they could see how massive it really was. It was made of metal and crystal, with parts that moved and changed shape. It looked like it had been built by a civilization. Far more advanced than humanity. Captain, Ben said, I'm reading life signs on that station, but they're not like any life I've ever seen. What do you mean? Jake asked. They're artificial, Ben said, like robots, but more complex. Much more complex. The Horizon was pulled into a docking bay inside the station. The bay was filled with strange machines that began examining their ship immediately. Captain, Amy said, they want to talk to us face to face. They're sending coordinates for a meeting room. Jake gathered his senior officers. Lisa, Ben, Amy. You're with me. Ryan, you stay here and watch the ship. Be careful, Captain, Ryan said. We don't know what these things want. The meeting room was unlike anything they had ever seen. The walls seemed to be alive, changing colors and patterns. In the center of the room, a figure waited for them. It looked like a human, but Jake could tell it was a machine. I am Sentinel, the figure said. I speak for the Watchers. You are the first humans to break containment in over 3,000 years. 3,000 years? Jake asked. You've been watching us for 3,000 years? We have been watching your species since you discovered fire, Sentinel said. We have watched you fight wars, build cities, and reach for the stars. We have watched you destroy and create. Why did you lock us up? Amy asked, Sentinel's artificial face showed something that might have been sadness. Because you are dangerous. Your species is too aggressive, too unpredictable. Most species we contain never even try to break free. You are different. Ben stepped forward. How many species have you contained? Thousands, Sentinel said. Across the galaxy, there are many species like yours. Species that grow too fast, fight too much, or ask too many questions. And what happens to them? Lisa asked. Most stay contained until they learn to live in peace, Sentinel said. Some are destroyed if they become too dangerous. A few, like you, manage to break free. Jake felt anger building inside him. You had no right to imprison us. We never asked to be locked up. Rights are a luxury for species that have proven they can be trusted, Sentinel said. Your species has not earned that trust. What happens now? Jake asked. Sentinel was quiet for a long time. That is what we must decide. You have done something remarkable. You broke through our barrier not with weapons, but with intelligence and cooperation. This is unusual. So you might let us go? Amy asked hopefully. I might, Sentinel said. But there are others in the galaxy who will not be so understanding. The Galactic Council has maintained order for millions of years. They will not be happy to learn that humans have escaped containment. Who is the Galactic Council? Ben asked. The most powerful species in the galaxy, Sentinel said. They created the containment system to keep dangerous species from disrupting galactic civilization. If they learn about your escape, they will demand that you be returned to your prison or destroyed. Jake felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. What do you suggest we do? Learn, Sentinel said. Learn about the galaxy you have entered. Learn about the dangers you will face. And prove that humans can be trusted with freedom. How long do we have? Lisa asked. Not long, Sentinel said. Word of your escape is already spreading. The Council will know soon. Sentinel stood up. I will give you access to our knowledge database. Study it well. Your species' future depends on what you learn here. As they returned to their ship, Jake's mind was racing. They had achieved humanity's dream of reaching the stars, but they had also put their entire species in danger. Captain, Amy said as they walked back to the horizon, what are we going to do? Jake looked back at the massive station around them. We're going to learn everything we can. Then we're going to figure out how to keep humanity free. And if we can't? Ben asked. Jake's jaw was set with determination. Then we'll find another way. Humans don't give up easily. That's what makes us dangerous. And that's what's going to Save us. The USS Horizon sat in the alien docking bay, its crew preparing for the biggest challenge in human history. They had broken out of their prison, but now they had to prove they deserved to be free. 3 days after their meeting with Sentinel, everything changed. Jake Morrison was reviewing the alien knowledge database when Amy Walsh's voice crackled over the ship's communication system. "Captain, to the bridge immediately. We have visitors." Jake rushed to the bridge to find his crew staring at the main screen. A massive ship had appeared next to the watcher station. It was sleek and silver, easily 10 times the size of the Horizon. "Captain," Lisa Carter said, "that ship just appeared. Out of nowhere. No warning, no engine signature. It just materialized." "Amy, are they trying to communicate?" Jake asked. "Yes, sir. Multiple signals coming in. And Captain, one of them is human." Jake's eyes widened. "Human? Put it through." The screen flickered, and a woman's face appeared. She was older than Jake, with gray hair and tired eyes. Behind her was what looked like a standard Earth-ship bridge. "Captain Morrison, I am Ambassador Helen Torres of the USS Liberty. I've been sent by Earth Command to handle the diplomatic situation you've created." "Diplomatic situation?" Jake asked. "Captain, your escape from the containment barrier has caused a crisis throughout the galaxy. The Galactic Council is not pleased." Before Jake could respond, another voice cut through the communication. This one was definitely not human. It sounded like wind chimes mixed with thunder. "Human vessels, you will prepare for immediate inspection. Non-compliance will result in destruction." Amy worked frantically at her station. "Captain, I'm reading. Multiple ships out there. They're using some kind of cloaking technology. There could be dozens of them." Sentinel's voice came through the communication system. "Captain Morrison, you must come to the council chamber immediately. The Galactic Council has arrived for your judgment." Jake looked at his crew. "Lisa, Ben, Amy, you're with me again. Ryan, keep the ship ready." "Captain," Ryan said, "what if this is a trap? Then we'll deal with it," Jake said. "But we can't run from this." The council chamber was a massive room filled with beings unlike anything the humans had ever imagined. Some looked like living crystals. Others were made of pure energy, and some were so alien that Jake couldn't even describe them. At the center of the room stood Ambassador Torres. She looked small and fragile compared to the alien beings around her. "Captain Morrison," she said when she saw him, "thank you for coming. We need to talk." "Ambassador," Jake said, "what exactly is going on here?" "The Galactic Council has been in session for 2 days," Torres explained. "They're deciding humanity's fate. Your escape has them worried." A being that looked like a walking tree made of light stepped forward. When it spoke, its voice sounded like music. "I am Harmony of the Luminari. We speak for the Council. Human Jake Morrison, you have committed a grave violation of galactic law." "What law?" Jake asked. "We didn't know there was a law." "Ignorance is not a defense," said another being. This one looked like a crystal spider the size of a car. "I am Facet of the Zephyrians. Your species was contained for the protection of all galactic civilization." Lisa stepped forward. "With respect, we didn't ask to be contained. We just wanted to explore." "Exploration," Facet said with what sounded like disgust. "That is exactly why your species is dangerous. You explore without thinking of consequences." Ambassador Torres moved closer to Jake. "Captain, I've been studying their records. The containment system is failing throughout the galaxy. Other species are starting to break free too." "What does that mean?" Jake asked quietly. "It means," Torres said, "that your escape might start a chain reaction. Hundreds of contained species might try to break free." Harmony stepped forward again. "This is precisely why the human escape cannot be allowed to succeed. You must return to your containment willingly, or face destruction. And if we refuse? Jake asked. A new voice spoke from the shadows. It was cold and mechanical. Then you will be destroyed, along with your entire species. A figure stepped into the light. It was humanoid, but covered in black metal. Its eyes glowed red, and when it moved, Jake could hear the sound of weapons powering up. I am Destroyer of the Void. Hunters, it said. We are the Council's military arm. We have eliminated 47 species that refused containment. Your species would be number 48. Ben Parker had been quiet during the meeting, but now he spoke up. You destroyed 47 entire species? That's genocide. It is necessary. Destroyer said. Galactic stability is more important than individual species. Jake felt anger building inside him. You're talking about billions of lives. We are talking about trillions of lives, Harmony said. The lives of all the species that make up galactic civilization. Your freedom threatens them all. Ambassador Torres stepped between Jake and the council representatives. There must be another way. Humanity has shown remarkable ingenuity and adaptability. Perhaps we can find a solution that doesn't involve destruction. What kind of solution? Fawcett asked. Limited freedom, Torres said. Humans could be allowed to explore a specific region of space under council supervision. We could prove that we can be trusted gradually. Destroyer's eyes glowed brighter. Unacceptable. The containment protocols exist for a reason. They cannot be modified. The protocols are failing anyway, Lisa said. We've detected energy fluctuations. Throughout the galaxy, other barriers are weakening. This seemed to surprise the council members. They began talking among themselves in languages the humans couldn't understand. Finally, Harmony spoke again. You claim other barriers are failing. Yes, Lisa said. The same quantum resonance that allowed us to break through is affecting barriers throughout the galaxy. The whole system is becoming unstable. This is not possible, Fawcett said. The containment system has been stable for millions of years. Maybe that's the problem, Jake said. Maybe it's too stable. Maybe the galaxy needs some chaos to stay healthy. The council members talked among themselves again. Jake could see they were concerned about something. Human Morrison, Harmony said finally, you will be given 72 hours to prepare your species for recontainment. If you refuse, the Void Hunters will destroy your home world. 72 hours? Jake asked. That's not enough time. It is all the time you will receive, Destroyer said. Choose wisely. As the council members began to leave, Sentinel appeared beside Jake. Captain, there is something you should know. The council did not tell you the complete truth. What do you mean? Jake asked. The containment system is not just failing, Sentinel said quietly. It is collapsing. And when it does, it will take half the galaxy with it. Jake felt his blood run cold. What do you mean? The energy required to maintain the barriers is drawn from the galaxy's own expansion, Sentinel explained. For millions of years, the galaxy has been slowly dying to power the containment system. Now it is reaching a critical point. Are you saying the Council is destroying the galaxy to maintain their control? Torres asked. I am saying, Sentinel replied, that the Council may not have a choice. If the containment system fails completely, the energy feedback could destroy countless worlds. Jake looked at his crew, then at Ambassador Torres. So we have 72 hours to save not just humanity, but the entire galaxy. It would seem so, Sentinel said. As they walked back to their ships, Jake's mind was racing. They had come out, here to explore, but now they were humanity's only hope for survival. And maybe the galaxy's only hope, too. Captain, Amy said, what are we going to do? Jake looked up at the alien stars surrounding them. We're going to do what humans do best. We're going to find a way to fix this mess, even if it kills us. Behind them, The Council's ships waited in the darkness, ready to carry out their threat. The clock was ticking, and the fate of billions hung in the balance. 50 hours remained when everything changed again. Jake Morrison was working with his crew to find a solution when Amy Walsh detected something impossible. "Captain," she said, "I'm getting a signal from empty space, but there's nothing out there." "Another cloaked ship?" Jake asked. "No, sir. This is different. The signal is coming from inside the space between dimensions." Ben Parker looked up from his research. "That's impossible. Nothing can exist in dimensional space." "Tell that to whoever is sending the signal," Amy said. She worked on her equipment for a few minutes. "I've got it cleaned up. It's audio only." New voice filled the bridge. It was definitely alien, but it sounded friendly. "Human vessel, we know you are in danger. We want to help." Jake stepped forward. "This is Captain Morrison." "Who are you?" "We are the Wanderers," the voice said. "We have been watching your situation with great interest. Your escape from containment has given us hope." "Hope for what?" Jake asked. "Hope that the Council's reign of terror might finally end," the voice said. "We have been fighting them for thousands of years." Lisa Carter looked at her instruments. "Captain, I'm detecting a ship materializing next to us. It's like nothing I've ever seen." Through the bridge windows, they could see a vessel that seemed to be made of liquid metal. It flowed and changed shape as they watched. "We are coming." "Aboard," the Wanderer voice said. "Do not be afraid." A figure appeared on the bridge in a flash of light. It was tall and thin, with skin that seemed to shift colors like oil on water. Its eyes were large and bright, and when it smiled, Jake could see that it meant no harm. "I am Flo of the Wanderers," it said. "We have been hiding in the spaces between dimensions for centuries, waiting for a chance to strike back at the Council." "Strike back?" Jake asked. "Are you talking about war?" "We are talking about freedom," Flo said. "The Council has imprisoned not just your species, but hundreds of others. Some of us escaped long ago and have been working to free the others." Ambassador Torres, who had been listening from the USS Liberty, appeared on the main screen. "Captain Morrison, I'm reading multiple ships decloaking around us." "We're surrounded. Do not worry," Flo said. "These are our allies. Species that have either escaped containment or were never contained in the first place." Ben Parker stepped forward. "How many species are we talking about?" "Dozens," Flo said. "Some, like us, exist in dimensional space. Others hide in the dark matter between galaxies. And some pretend to serve the Council while secretly working against them." Ryan Brooks joined them on the bridge. "Captain, I've been analyzing the data. From the Watcher Station, Flo is right. There are signs of hidden civilizations all over the galaxy. What do you want from us?" Jake asked. Flo's expression became serious. "Your species has done something remarkable. You broke through the barrier using cooperation and intelligence, not force. This is exactly what we need." "Need for what?" Jake asked. "To save the galaxy," Flo said. "The Council's containment system is not just failing. It's been designed to fail." Lisa looked confused. "What do you mean?" "The Council created the system to slowly drain energy from the galaxy," Flo explained. "When enough energy has been collected, they plan to use it to transform themselves into pure energy beings. They will survive the galaxy's death, but everyone else will perish." Jake felt sick. "They're planning to kill everyone?" "Everyone except themselves," Flo said. "It has been their plan for millions of years." Ambassador Torres spoke from the screen. "If this is true, then we can't trust anything the Council told us." "That is correct," Flo said. "The 72-hour deadline is meaningless. They plan to begin the final energy drain within days. Can we stop them?" Jake asked. Flo smiled. We believe so. But we need your help. Human ingenuity combined with our hidden technology might be enough to destroy the containment system safely. Ryan stepped forward. What kind of technology are we talking about? Dimensional phase shifters, Flo said. Ships that can exist in multiple dimensions at once. The Council cannot track them or destroy them. And you want to share this technology? With us? Jake asked. We want to combine it with your quantum drive technology, Flo said. Together, we can create vessels that can penetrate the Council's defenses. Ben looked excited. Captain, think about it. If we can get this technology to other contained species, we could free them all. That's exactly the plan, Flo said. But we must work quickly. The Council is already suspicious. They know something is wrong. Over the next few hours, the human crews worked with the Wanderers and their allies to modify their ships. Ryan worked with alien engineers to install dimensional phase shifters on both the Horizon and the Liberty. This is incredible, Ryan said as he watched the alien technology integrate with human systems. It's like they were designed to work together. Perhaps they were, Flo said. The universe has a way of creating the tools needed for survival. Lisa made a breakthrough while studying the containment system data. Captain, I think I know how to shut down the barriers safely. But it will require coordinated strikes on multiple control stations throughout the galaxy. How many stations? Jake asked. Hundreds, Lisa said. Maybe thousands. It would take a massive coordinated effort. We have allies throughout the galaxy. Flo said. Hidden bases, secret organizations, even some council members who have grown tired of the tyranny. Ambassador Torres appeared on the screen again. Captain, I've been in contact with Earth Command. They're mobilizing every available ship. If we're going to do this, we'll have the full support of humanity. What about the other contained species? Jake asked. We're already working on that, Flo said. Our agents are preparing to disable barrier controls throughout the galaxy. When we strike, dozens of species will be freed simultaneously. Ben looked worried. What if we're wrong? What if the Council is telling the truth about needing the containment system for stability? Then we'll deal with the consequences, Jake said. But we can't let them destroy the galaxy to save themselves. The next few hours were a flurry of activity. Ships appeared and disappeared as the Underground Alliance coordinated their attack. Human crews worked alongside aliens they had never seen before, all united by a common goal. Captain, Amy said, I'm detecting Council ships moving toward our position. They know something is happening. How long do we have? Jake asked. Maybe an hour, Amy said. Flo's skin shifted to a deep red color. We must begin the attack now. If we wait, the Council will activate their final protocol. What's the final protocol? Jake asked. They will begin the energy drain immediately, Flo said, even if it destroys half the galaxy in the process. Jake looked at his crew, then at Ambassador Torres on the screen. Are we ready? As ready as we'll ever be? Torres said. Jake activated the ship's communication system. This is Captain Morrison to all Alliance ships. We're about to attempt something that's never been tried before. We're going to free every imprisoned species in the galaxy and stop the Council from destroying everything we care about. He paused, thinking about Earth and all the humans who didn't even know they were in danger. I won't lie to you, Jake continued. This is dangerous. We might not all survive, but if we don't try, everyone we love will die anyway. Flo stepped beside him. Captain, my people have a saying. The river that flows finds a way around every stone. Humanity is like a river. You find a way around every obstacle. Let's hope you're right, Jake said. He activated the quantum drive and dimensional phase shifter together. All ships, this is it. Time to save the galaxy. The USS Horizon disappeared into dimensional space, followed by dozens of other ships. The final battle for galactic freedom was about to begin. Behind them, the Council's ships raced to stop them, but they were too late. The Alliance had vanished into the spaces between dimensions, carrying with them the hopes of billions of imprisoned souls throughout the galaxy. The battle for the galaxy began in the heart of the Council's home system. Jake Morrison watched from the bridge of the USS Horizon as hundreds of ships materialized from dimensional space around the massive Council headquarters. "Captain," Amy Walsh said, "we're getting signals from Alliance ships throughout the galaxy. The coordinated attack is beginning." "What's our status?" Jake asked. "Phase shifters are working perfectly," Ryan Brooks reported. "The Council ships can't target us while we're between dimensions." Lisa Carter looked up from her science station. "Captain, I'm reading massive energy buildups from the Council station. They're preparing to activate the final protocol." "How long do we have?" Jake asked. "Minutes," Lisa said. "Maybe less." Flo appeared on the bridge in a flash of light. "Captain Morrison, our forces are in position, but the Council is not going to surrender easily." Through the bridge windows, they could see the Council's home station. It was a massive structure that seemed to be made of crystallized energy. Weapon systems were powering up all around it. "Ambassador Torres to all ships," came the voice of the diplomat over the communication system. "The Council is demanding we surrender. They're threatening to destroy Earth if we don't stop the attack." Jake felt anger building inside him. "They're going to destroy Earth anyway if we don't stop them." "Captain," Ben Parker said, "I'm reading something strange. The Council station isn't just a headquarters. It's a massive energy collector. All the power from the containment barriers flows through it." "That's it," Lisa said excitedly. "If we can overload the station, we can shut down the entire containment system at once." "But the energy feedback would be enormous," Ryan said. "It could destroy half the system. Or it could free every imprisoned species in the galaxy," Jake said. "Flo, what do you think?" Flo's skin shifted to a bright blue color. "My people have calculated the risks. The energy release will be dangerous, but controllable if we channel it properly." "How do we channel that much energy?" Jake asked. "By working together," Flo said. "Every ship in the Alliance will need to absorb part of the energy and redirect it safely into space." Ben looked worried. "Captain, that's asking hundreds of different species to work together perfectly. If even one ship fails, the whole plan could collapse." "Ben, we better make sure no one fails," Jake said. He activated the communication system. "This is Captain Morrison to all Alliance ships. We're about to attempt something that requires perfect coordination from every species here." He paused, looking at his crew. "I know we're all different. We come from different worlds, different dimensions, different ways of thinking. But today, we're all united by one goal: freedom. The Council believes that order and control are the only ways to maintain stability," Jake continued. "They're wrong. Diversity and cooperation are what make the galaxy strong." Flo stepped beside him. "Captain, ships are reporting ready throughout the galaxy. Dozens of species are prepared to break free simultaneously. Council ships are moving to intercept," Amy reported. "They're bringing everything they have." Jake looked at the massive enemy force approaching. "All Alliance ships, execute the plan. Ryan, take us in." The USS Horizon phased back into normal space directly in front of the Council station. Immediately, weapons fire erupted from the station's defenses. "Shields are holding," Ryan reported. "But they won't last long against this firepower." All around them, Alliance ships appeared and disappeared, using their dimensional phase technology to avoid the Council's weapons. Each species contributed their unique abilities to the attack. The crystalline wanderers absorbed energy weapons and redirected them. The shadow-dwelling Forgotten Ones sabotaged the station's defenses from within. Even some Watcher A's had joined. The Alliance, using their knowledge of Council technology against their former masters. "Captain," Lisa called out, "the energy buildup is reaching critical levels. The Council is about to activate the final protocol." On the main screen, they could see the Council leaders inside their station. Harmony of the Luminari was glowing brighter than ever, while Facet of the Zephyrians was rapidly changing colors. Destroyer of the Void Hunters stood ready at weapons control. "Human Morrison," Harmony's voice came through the communication system, "you have doomed the galaxy. Without the containment system, chaos will destroy everything." "You're wrong," Jake replied. "Chaos is what creates new life, new ideas, new possibilities. Your order is what's been killing the galaxy." "Then you will die with your beliefs," Destroyer said. The Council station's main weapon began charging with enough energy to destroy a planet. "Captain," Amy said, "I'm getting reports from throughout the galaxy. Dozens of species are breaking free of their barriers. The plan is working." "Energy levels are critical," Lisa warned. "The station is about to overload." Jake made his decision. "All ships begin energy absorption protocol. Ryan, get us as close as possible to that station." A Horizon raced toward the Council headquarters, dodging massive energy blasts. Around them, hundreds of Alliance ships formed a sphere around the station, each one preparing to absorb the energy release. "This is it," Jake said. "Flo, are your people ready?" "We are ready, Captain Morrison," Flo said. "Whatever happens next, you have given the galaxy hope." The Council station exploded in a burst of light brighter than a star. Energy poured out in all directions, carrying with it the power that had been stolen from the galaxy for millions of years. Every Alliance ship absorbed as much energy as it could, then channeled it safely into space. The Horizon shook as massive. Amounts of power flowed through its systems, but Ryan's modifications held. "We're doing it," Lisa shouted over the noise. "The energy is being dispersed safely." Throughout the galaxy, containment barriers flickered and died. Species that had been imprisoned for thousands of years suddenly found themselves free. Jake could hear their voices over the communication system, crying out in joy and amazement. "Captain," Amy said, "I'm getting a signal from Earth. Admiral Griffin wants to speak with you." Admiral Griffin's face appeared on the screen. Behind him, Jake could see the bridge of a Council ship, but the Council members were gone. "Captain Morrison," Griffin said, "I want you to know that Earth is safe. The energy wave passed through our system harmlessly. The barrier around our solar system is gone." "What about the Council?" Jake asked. "Surrender," Griffin said. "The ones who survived, anyway. Most of them were energy beings. When their station was destroyed, they simply faded away." Ben looked amazed. "Captain, we did it. We actually did it." "Not just us," Jake said. "Everyone, hundreds of species, working together." Flo's skin shifted to a warm golden color. "Captain Morrison, my people would like to invite humanity to join the new galactic community we're building." "What kind of community?" Jake asked. "One based on cooperation instead of control," Flo said. "One where species are free to explore, to grow, to make mistakes, and learn from them." Ambassador Torres appeared on the screen from the Liberty. "Captain, I've been in contact with representatives from dozens of newly freed species. They want to establish a new form of galactic government." "What kind of government?" Jake asked. "A democratic assembly," Torres said, "where every species has a voice, regardless of how advanced or primitive they might be." Lisa looked at her instruments. "Captain, the galaxy's expansion rate is already returning to normal. The energy drain has stopped. What does that mean?" Jake asked. "It means the galaxy is going to live," Lisa said with tears in her eyes. "The stars will keep shining. New worlds will be born, and life will continue to evolve. Over the next few days, Jake watched as the new galactic community took shape. Species that had been enemies for millions of years began working together. Technologies were shared freely, creating innovations that none of them could have achieved. Alone, the USS Horizon became the flagship of the new Democratic Assembly of Species. Jake found himself appointed as the first human representative, a role he never expected but was honored to accept. "Captain," Amy said as they prepared to return, "to Earth, I'm getting signals from all over the galaxy. New species are being discovered every day. Some of them have been hiding for so long that everyone thought they were extinct. It's like the galaxy is waking up after a long sleep," Ben said. Ryan joined them on the bridge. "Captain, the new hybrid ships we're building with Alliance technology are incredible. Humans are going to be able to explore parts of the galaxy we never dreamed of reaching." Jake looked out at the stars, which seemed brighter now than they had ever been. "You know what the best part is? We're not exploring alone anymore. We're part of something bigger." Flo appeared beside them one last time. "Captain Morrison, your species has given the galaxy a great gift. You have shown us that intelligence and cooperation can overcome any obstacle." "We couldn't have done it without help," Jake said. "That is exactly the point," Flo said, with what might have been a smile. "No one species can solve every problem alone, but together we can solve any problem." As the USS Horizon began its journey back to Earth, Jake thought about everything that had happened. They had left Earth as explorers and were returning as liberators. Humanity had not only earned its place among the stars, but had helped free an entire galaxy. "Captain," Lisa said, "I'm detecting new signals from unexplored regions of the galaxy. There are still mystery."